Mechanic was released in 2011. It is a very interesting action thriller movie. Mechanic Resurrection stars my favorite actor, who is known for his action-packed movies with a touch of emotions. In this film, his character, Arthur Bishop, is a highly skilled assassin. The movie starts with a beautiful scene in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. If you've seen the first part, the sequel will make even more sense. Arthur is now trying to live a new life. He maintains himself well, drinks a lot, reads newspapers, listens to music, and enjoys his peaceful routine. One day he steps out of his room and goes to a restaurant. The people there recognize him. He takes a seat at a table, and a woman named Rada approaches him. She tells him she has come on behalf of her client, Crane. Crane wants 3 people eliminated, 3 powerful underworld bosses, but there's a condition. Their deaths must look like accidents, and that's exactly what Arthur is an expert at. Rada blackmails Arthur. If he refuses, she will leak his location to dangerous people who are after him. Arthur is shocked. He had barely escaped death in the first movie, and everyone thought he was dead. Now he is living secretly in Brazil. But Rada makes it clear, he must do the job, or his life will be at risk. Arthur takes her picture, but Rada pulls out a gun. A fight breaks out. Arthur manages to take down Rada and several others, injuring them before escaping. He jumps off a high platform onto a flying boat. A thrilling action scene. Before leaving, he burns down the boat he had been living in, erasing all traces of his presence. But Arthur always has backup plans. He heads to one of his many secret hideouts, a shipping container, where he gathers information on Rada. However, his location gets tracked again, forcing him to flee. This time he escapes to a stunning island, Koh Leap, in southern Thailand. There he meets a woman named May who already knows him. She offers him a room which, in reality, is one of his hidden safe houses. Arthur resumes his work, gathering intelligence on Rada, preparing for whatever comes next. Suddenly, we see a beautiful woman named Gina. She is one of the main characters in the movie. Arthur also notices her. Gina walks up to a man named Mac and asks for a first aid box. He looks at her, confused, and asks what happened. Gina replies that her boyfriend tortured and beat her. She lives on a boat, and after saying this, she walks away. Later that evening, strange noises start coming from that boat. The sounds are loud enough for Mac to hear. Worried, he calls Arthur and asks him to help Gina. He explains that Gina's boyfriend has been abusing her for a long time. Arthur decides to go to the boat. When he arrives, he finds Gina's boyfriend and attacks him. During the fight, the man's head hits a metal nail, and he dies. Since Arthur is an expert in making murders look like accidents, he quickly sets up the scene to make it look natural. After that, he and Gina leave the boat together. While on their way, Arthur glances at Gina's phone and is shocked to see a picture of himself. Realizing something is wrong, he remains silent until they reach home. As soon as they arrive, Arthur shoots the boat, setting it on fire to remove any evidence. Then he turns to Gina and asks, "Where were you?" She replies, "I was sleeping inside." Arthur doesn't believe her. He wakes her up and says, "You're an agent, aren't you?" "What do you want from me?" Gina, startled, says, "No, you're misunderstanding me. I'm just a school teacher. A man named Crane kidnapped the children I teach. Was also part of Crane's plan to trap you." Arthur looks at her in silence for a moment, then says, "I've killed many people in my life, but I won't let you die." The next morning, Gina is treating Arthur's wounds. She tells him that her father was a healer, and Arthur remembers working with him. This surprises Gina. To confirm her story, Arthur investigates her online. He finds out that she really was a teacher in a small village in Colombia. She was trying to educate children and improve their lives, but the place was full of violence and crime. She was frustrated with the situation and wanted to help. While resting on the island, Arthur asks her, "What does Crane want?" Gina replies, "I used to work at a shelter. One day, a young girl was kidnapped. 2 hours later, her body was left at my doorstep. Crane wanted to send me a message. I had nowhere else to go, so I had to obey him." As she speaks, Gina gracefully swims in the water, but Arthur quickly realizes something. They are being watched. Crane's men are keeping an eye on them. Arthur warns Gina to be careful. Later, she takes him to a festival. The atmosphere is lively and colorful. As they spend time together, their bond grows stronger. They start falling in love. Gina tells Arthur, "If something happens to you because of me, I will never forgive myself." Arthur then shares his own past. I was an orphan too. I was sold to a gangster. Crane was there as well, but I somehow managed to escape. He didn't. Now he's taking revenge on me. Arthur wants to protect Gina at any cost. As a token of trust, he gives her his father's last gift, a wristwatch. Keep this safe until I return, he says. He knows he will have to face Crane soon. The next morning, a group of armed men arrives on a boat. They attack Arthur and Gina, capturing them both. They are taken to Bangkok, Thailand, straight to Crane's hideout. Arthur is forced to sit in a chair in a mysterious location, waiting for what's coming next. Arthur finds himself in a deadly situation. Crane has trapped him. If he moves from his spot, a hidden bomb will detonate. Crane's right-hand man, Ramasan, steps forward and smirks. We tracked your location using satellites, he says. Then Crane hands Arthur a file. Inside, there are 3 photographs. The first target is Krill, Crane explains. He's an arms dealer operating in Africa. Right now, he's locked up in a high-security prison in Malaysia, which is the only reason he's still alive. You need to eliminate him. Arthur listens carefully. Crane continues. Once you kill all 3 targets, you'll get Gina back. After each kill, call me on video. Once you take down the last target, now go do your job. Arthur has no choice. He gathers intel on Krill, who is currently locked up in a heavily guarded prison in Mexico, surrounded by ocean water filled with deadly jellyfish. To get inside, Arthur disguises himself as a gangster. He also crafts small, wall-mounted bombs to help with his escape later. Once ready, he enters the prison, creating trouble along the way to blend in. Many want him dead, but his loyal bodyguards protect him at all costs. During a prison brawl, a man with a broken arm tries to stab Krill. Seeing an opportunity, Arthur steps in, takes the attacker down, and saves Krill. This earns him Krill's trust. Later that night, Krill invites Arthur to a private dinner without his guards. Over the meal, Krill boasts, "Once I'm out of this place, I'll become Africa's most powerful crime lord. Maybe I'll even hire you." Arthur smirks. "I'm not here for a job. I'm here for you." Before Krill can react, Arthur strikes, killing him instantly. He then sets up the scene to make it look like an accident. Suddenly, chaos erupts in the prison. Using the bombs he planted earlier, Arthur creates a distraction, escapes through the confusion, and jumps into the water. However, Crane is already aware of Krill's death. His men rush to the location. Meanwhile, Arthur knows he has little time. Crane contacts him and coldly states, "You have 36 hours to take down the next target. If you fail, Gina dies." Arthur's next target is Mr. Jaron, a high-profile figure living in New York. Taking him out won't be easy. The doors are reinforced with 6-inch steel, and high-tech trackers monitor every movement. Jaron has one habit that Arthur can use to his advantage. He enjoys live streaming from his rooftop infinity pool. Arthur devises a plan. He creates small, specialized bombs designed to work underwater. He also manages to replicate a key that grants him access to the building. Disguising himself as a maintenance worker, he enters the penthouse unnoticed. Carefully, Arthur makes his way to the pool area. Just as Jaron starts to suspect something is off, the bomb detonates. The pool shatters and Jaron, standing at the edge of the rooftop, loses his balance and falls to his death. It looks like a tragic accident, exactly the kind of clean kill Arthur specializes in. After the job, Crane lets Arthur hear Gina's voice. She desperately tries to give him a clue. "My watch," she begins, but she's cut off by the sound of a slap. Arthur instantly understands the message. He calls a harbor master, pretending to be a man named Tom Silver. The man unknowingly gives him the boat's coordinates, P7 to P hub. Arthur parachutes down from a helicopter, instructing the pilot to hover at 60 feet. Using a stealth approach, he swims underneath the boat, sneaks inside, and begins eliminating enemies one by one. Before he can finish, Crane himself arrives. He smirks. Arthur knows he has no time to argue. He takes a leap, diving into the water. First, he frees his hands, then focuses on his third and most dangerous target, Max Adam. Unlike Jaron, he doesn't live on an island or in a skyscraper. He hides deep beneath the earth, protected by an army of guards and an intricate security system. Crane gives Arthur only 24 hours to complete the mission. Arthur plans his infiltration carefully. He takes out a security guard, knowing that when the body is discovered, a helicopter will be sent to transport him to the hospital. Hiding inside the helicopter, Arthur sneaks into the underground base. Inside, he deactivates the security cameras and, one by one, eliminates the guards without raising the alarm. But rumors quickly spread. Someone has come to kill Max Adam. Sensing the danger, Max locks himself inside his private chamber, a vault designed to stay sealed for 24 hours. "This defense system is useless," he mutters. Arthur steps out of the shadows. "I need to have a word with you," he says, his voice calm but deadly. Max stares at him, trying to assess the situation. "Who are you?" Arthur smirks. "Just a businessman, like you." Crane got nothing out of the deal, and now he wants Arthur dead. But Arthur and Max have other plans. They decide to work together to take Crane down. Arthur doesn't hesitate. You'll find him in the submarine, right next to all his merchandise. Suspicious but intrigued, Crane sends some of his men to verify the body. But the moment they arrive, Arthur strikes. One by one, he takes them out. Crane immediately realizes something is off. He's being played. Furious, he rushes to the dock, where Arthur is waiting. A brutal fight breaks out, fists and bullets flying. In the chaos, Arthur manages to get Gina onto the submarine, sending her to safety. Crane, shackled and defeated, watches helplessly as a massive explosion erupts behind him. When the dust settles, only the ocean remains. There's no sign of Arthur, no sign of Gina, no sign of anything. To the world, Arthur is dead. 3 months later, in a quiet town in Cambodia, Gina is teaching children again, trying to rebuild her life. But one evening, she sees someone familiar in the distance. Arthur. Meanwhile, Max, the man who thought Arthur was gone, starts digging into the details. A space filled with oxygen, designed to keep a person alive for up to 24 hours. Arthur had planned everything. He had faked his death perfectly. As the movie ends, Max deletes the last remaining footage of Arthur and smiles. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed the explanation, please like, subscribe, and share to support the channel. See you in the next movie explanation. Stay awesome.